Co-founders of Mother and Daughter Entertainment, Elizabeth and Isabella Blake-Thomas, produce with the purpose of making content that matters. Today we discuss one of their recent films, Caralique, about a determined young fashion designer looking to bring color to the people around her. Constantly being told no, Caralique must learn to stick to her instincts and continually try again in order to achieve her childhood dreams. In this conversation with this mother and daughter, we discuss their film and their relationship.
Thank you both, Elizabeth and Isabella Blake-Thomas. Thank you so much for joining me today on AwareNow.
Well, thank you for having us, Allie.
Always a pleasure.
So here's the thing. Relationships between mothers and daughters, they span between best friends and worst enemies. I'm curious to know where on that spectrum the two of you fit.
I don't like her very much. I don't like and I'd seen the question before, and I knew I was ready for that.
You suck.
That was hot comedy.
Comedy right there. I mean, as you can see, I think we have a good relationship.
Well, should we tell them a secret?
What is it?
I'm in her house because...
Oh, yes, that's not a secret.
Well, no, it is, because I came back.
You followed me. So I moved out nearly 2 years ago. Wow, it's been nearly 2 years.
I know.
And then she followed me. So she currently sleeps on my living room floor on
because I love her and I miss her.
But it defeats the purpose of moving out.
But I moved in.
We just moved together.
Yeah.
And I just
I had to let her think she was going off into the big wide world, and then I followed her. Okay. So no, I was going to
say we're not doing a very good job of answering the question.
No.
We told her where you live.
Yeah. Love her.
Yes, we have a fantastic relationship. On my phone, she's in my phone as my bestest friend.
And in mine, she's my favourite child.
Well,
but
I had to clarify because we've got Chai.
Chai's asleep now. Chai's not interested.
But yes, we have an amazing relationship, and I'm very fortunate. And I think
I was about to say that.
It's like I'm related to you. But I do think there was a moment where I almost took it for granted because during COVID I wasn't seeing other people's relationships, and I was like, oh, we just have a good relationship, that's normal. And then we came out of COVID and I saw friends of mine with their mums and their parents, and I went, oh no, we actually have a really good relationship. It's very much above average. So yeah, I'm very
above average.
You're very special.
And I for her, so that makes
good.
two of us.
That's good.
I mean, it's just it's so beautiful just watching the two of you together. So you two have overcome a lot together, both personally, professionally. What would you say, and I'd like to hear from both of you individually, what has been the hardest obstacle that you faced together?
Now, I want to clarify that. Do you mean that we've faced as a team to the outside, or do you mean like the thing we've overcome together? Because one of them doesn't have an answer.
Which is the one together. Because we haven't had a problem. Yeah, so that would be a very quick.
Clarify.
So let's do the other one.
The other one then, all right.
Yeah.
Right. The other one where you are like, go team, go. Let's overcome this obstacle.
I think just...
I would say life, actually.
The rain? Oh, yours is more deep, no?
No, yeah, rain, definitely. I'm very depressed when it's raining. No, life. And I don't mean that in a kind of like, oh, that's a very easy answer. But every time we experience something, there is something to learn from it. And right now, it's kind of like a working backwards situation where I believed 18, all good, off to the world she goes. And actually now,
surprise,
she's still here. No, but it's something that we do together. So I never feel like it's something on its own that we then face. It's kind of, we're just as one symbiosis. That means, let's say at the moment, if there was a friend issue, or I've got a relationship issue, or a work issue, there's always something that we then work towards sorting, don't we?
Yeah, I think, yes to all of the above, but I think in addition to that, for me, I think the thing that we've overcome the most is the opposition from people for doing what we do.
Yes.
And because I think we've had like life events that are difficult.
Really good answer.
welcome. It's constant sort of, I don't want to use the word adversity because I feel like we're doing pretty all right, but it's like our mini adversities. It's our versatinos.
Constantly. Oh, I love that word.
Italian.
Adversitinos.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is absolutely like that.
Yeah.
It is the feeling that you homeschooled.
Yeah.
You live with your daughter still, or now you're living with your daughter.
I'm moving to LA.
You've gone off and lived on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big thing. Everyone was like, it's only 18, 19.
Not
What's
going
she
off
doing?
to university.
Not going to university. Doing things the way we do. You're
Just
right.
being a single mum in general, I think,
Yes,
as well.
it is
There's a
constant.
lot of acting. I mean, you get even now as an adult, when I tell people I started acting when I was 4, the immediate response is, there's 2 responses. There's either people who are like me who go, oh my gosh, yeah, me too, or the people that go, oh, you're a child actor. And I'm like,
which is probably why we then are so close, because it is constant. So if we weren't together, we'd have like been knocked down a long time ago.
yeah. Well, I do think about that. I think especially for us,
True.
LA was right. And if we'd been anywhere else, especially, I don't think.
No.
And I mean anywhere else, honestly. I think LA is where we needed to be for what we wanted to do and who we wanted to be as well.
Yeah. And I will say, although we look like we are as one, we are very different people. I mean, she says to me all the time, I can't believe you're still alive.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way I live a very different life to Isabella.
She nearly burnt my house down the other day with the oven, so
can't
it's going
cook.
well.
I can't cook. Yeah.
So the two of you've worked on so many projects. Of all the projects that you've worked together, again, I'd like to hear from each of you, what was your absolute favorite and why?
I've got one.
I have 2.
Oh, okay, you go.
No, you go first.
Okay.
I want to hear what you say.
Well, I actually love the last one.
Yes.
The film Karma's a Bitch.
Okay.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that word. Yeah, but it was a phenomenal experience because you wrote it, produced it, cast it, starred in it, and all I did was direct it. And so that was the most team that we've done in a project. And
yeah,
it was brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
there was not one single moment of anything bad.
No.
We've learnt what we like, how to work with each other. So yeah, that would be. But I really want to know what your other one is.
Well, no, I actually had 2 excluding that one because
Oh.
I'm thinking like past stuff
Okay,
in my
okay.
head. Well, yeah, because I agree with that. But I have 2. One is the one we did, the League of Legend Keepers.
Oh yeah, that
I
was fun.
loved working on that because it was almost just like doing it for fun.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was all our friends involved.
Yeah.
Just actually, so was Karma, just on a new level, I guess.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was just the OG friends one.
I agree.
So we had our friends involved. It was a really fun project. We got some really fun locations and we were figuring it out as we sort of went on
it was in the beginning.
the rules wise, which I love. And that was when that was the first time we had everyone staying in a house really together.
That was fun.
And that's what we do now.
Yeah.
And then the other one actually was just Swipe. Because I was first ADing for you.
Oh yes.
And I loved that experience because I got to be on the side of the camera that you are and I wasn't just in front of
yes,
it.
and you were really good.
Thank you. And it's and it was just a really exciting experience because first of all, I appreciated that where I was still learning, you were obviously forgiving because you're my mum and you know that at the end of the day I was learning. I wasn't having to be concerned that it was, I don't know, Steven Spielberg and I'm sitting there going, oh my god, what am I doing? Even though I knew what I was doing, any moments I was figuring it out, we would work as a team to sort of figure that out together.
Yeah.
And also as a director that since then I've worked with some directors that have no idea what time is, and so
you become
Right.
appreciative, just like she said
Exactly.
about when she realized, oh, actually, this is not a normal mother-daughter relationship. I'm very lucky,
Well,
and
now-
I have that.
Well, now I'm nervous to go onto other sets of First AD because I'm like, God, they're not going to do anything. They're going to be terrible and late because I'm so used to this now.
Yeah,
So those were my 2.
yeah. Good answers.
Yeah.
Well, those are all wonderful responses and all wonderful projects. So speaking of projects, I want to speak specifically about Caralique, which I just first and foremost love the name. What inspired this film? Where did this come from?
So I was given a script. I was given a script, and there was, as people come with scripts, they often come and they need developing. And I saw one element of this script that connected with me, that I knew as a woman, as a mother, I could make work. And that was the story of a mother-daughter. So the guy had written this script, and he's very sweet, but he's a man. He's not a mother, he's not a daughter. He doesn't understand that relationship.
Neither of the two.
So he was able to.
Well, the nice thing is, because he is a parent.
Yes,
he did sort of.
True.
He did understand
True.
it. He's not a single guy.
Which is why he let me. Then you're right. Let me go with this. Hold on, I'll leave it to her. She is a mother. So he then let me rewrite it, and that is the biggest element that I put in there, which is all about a mother-daughter relationship, making sure that they have something strong together. So it came to me, I twisted and turned it into something that I knew I understood.
And then from my side of it, I worked very hard on the development with her and the character and who we wanted her to be. I mean, I think the style was a really fun one to do.
Yeah, the French.
Yeah, her whole just
magic.
Her vibe was cool. And I think when we got onto set, we were still sort of, as new exciting moments were coming up as characters, deciding things with the characters. So we had this beautiful story, but then you and I got to really work together on just finding those little moments of magic and the little bubbles of things we could do and play with, and that's sort of what
which I continue to do actually in the edit. My editor was great on that, Matt Dean, and he really got it.
Yeah.
We were in there and I was like, this needs to be magic. I want something like Amelie, and again, I chose very specific styles to try and make a very, very, very low budget film work.
Well, and I just love how you say, that you wanted to just pull out that magic in those moments, and that it really evolved as you were filming, as you were producing. I have to say, I feel like the two of you are both probably a little bit like Caralique, a little bit like that character. So I'd love to hear from each of you how the other is like this character. So, Elizabeth, how is your daughter most like Caralique?
Well, it's definitely a case of never giving up. Because one of my favorite scenes actually in Caralique is when you're doing the pieces of material and dyeing them.
Yes.
Because she's also like that as a person, arty, creative. What can I do? Thinks outside of the box. So that moment where the fruit drops down onto your book and you smudge it, from that moment where you even thank your father who has died in the story, that's even that spiritual element you have as a person. You've taken a sign. You then go and do something, you think outside of the box to make it work, and then you're kind with it, and then you take it to that next level and keep on going. And you as Caralique, you then went to the dress designer place, and you tried to get things made with it. Stephen Clark, who played that character, is great, such a sweetheart. And you didn't give up. So that's how you are, I think, as Caralique.
Thank you.
Nice. And how about you, Isabella? How is your mom like this character?
I'm just picking. I'm not struggling to find one. I'm picking. Well, it's funny because you said tenacity sort of for me, but I want to use the word tenacity. It's a good word. I think your tenacity, through everything that you've gone through and seeing you now, you wouldn't know that you'd gone through that. So I think seeing that side of it, I think is where you're similar. Like, you look at Caralique at the end and you would have no idea that she's gone through what she's gone through to get to that point. So that's one thing, is your tenacity. I think your love for what you do, your passion, is very much prominent. Your healing, your directing, you love it, and I see it when you're doing it. You sort of light up and you're glowing, and you love it as much as Caralique loves her fashion. You sort of live, breathe, bleed it. And I mean, the blonde hair also is another one.
Yeah. Good answers. Thank you.
So you're quite a bit like her, both of you. So much like Caralique, constantly being told no when trying to make it. In the entertainment industry, you hear no far more than yes. My last question for you today is this: for those in the industry, or any industry for that matter, what advice do you have for fighting your way through the no's to find your yes?
No, hold on. I've got to write my answers because I don't want to forget them. Hold on.
Okay.
Right. No,
that's what I was going to say.
Okay, go on. You do that one, and I'll do the other
Okay,
ones.
so I was going to say, it's interesting that you chose the word fighting, because we've been having this conversation.
And I just wrote my
I know
fighting
my list as well. That's my schedule for today.
Yes.
But it's funny because we've been having this conversation recently about fighting for things, and my biggest piece of advice is, well, it's sort of, there's two, and it's like a subsection, but the biggest one is know when to stop fighting, because you can push for things.
Hard work.
It's exactly.
Tenacity.
It's hard work. Well, that's where my sub point was coming in. It's hard work. It's knowing when to ignore the no and keep pushing, but it's more so. There's only so much fighting that's healthy, and even so, I think it's more pushing than fighting. Push for what you want. Climb the ladder of whatever your goal is, and work for it. But know when actually this route isn't working. So don't keep walking into a brick wall. I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different reaction.
Right.
And if you're trying to get to that place, like, well, I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. I went to this person and this person, but that might be the same thing and you just don't see it. So take a break, just like you would if you were doing like a math problem. Sit back, look at a different route to get there, and then try and get the answer or what you're working for in a different way. Because again, you don't want to just be walking into a brick wall. If you watch someone do that in real life, you'd say, excuse me, I think you need to open the door and not just sort of hit your head against it.
Right.
So really good. So
Thank you.
definitely, obviously with medicine with words, the biggest thing for me are the words that we use, and fighting is definitely one of those. It's not a good word. Hard work is. The other thing is the amount of no's. I look at it as every no is leading me closer to a yes. I don't know what that yes is, but you're like, oh, thank you for that no, because now I'm one step closer to my yes. Thank you for that no, because now it's clearing the way for the people that will be. But I'm also going to show you something. Okay, this has saved everything that I do at the moment. Okay, it's very badly drawn, but this is a pyramid.
It's a great triangle.
It's a terrible triangle. Okay, so this is my pyramid of purpose. Okay, I'm going to show you a trick. So I've now drawn 3 lines. This foundation space at the bottom is for the thing that you really want. And by the way, this can change constantly. So this could change next week. This could be a pyramid for a day, a week, a year, whatever. This is my current pyramid for 5 years. I have written on here the film that I'm working on. And this is my baby, okay? And my baby is called Siku. So I write Siku at the bottom. The one above it, what I'm going to put are the projects that I own and want to do. So for example, I have a film called The Girl with the Crooked Smile. I have a film called Love at First Fight. So they go in that section. The top one, I'm actually going to split it into 2, are the films that I've been asked to do. So I've been asked to direct something, so I'm just going to put that in. And then the top one, you'll see, so I've been asked to direct Snakebit, and the top one is Medicine with Words. That's what I call my icing on the cake, my healing, the things that I do that really ground me. And all around it, I would write lots of words, different words of the things that I want to make sure I achieve. So it could be fun, could be a good relationship, it could be friends, it could be financial reward, whatever it is. But in life, everything I do right now has to answer one simple question. Does this lead me closer to Siku? Does this lead me closer to this? And when you have that very clear question, and it might tick something for you, you make very clear decisions. And the reason I'm giving that is because you could do this with a relationship, you could do this in general in life, because what that does is it means you no longer need to fight for anything. Because today, you're asking, would we like to go on a podcast? And I'm thinking, does that lead me closer to Siku? I'm going to have a lovely time with my daughter. I'm going to connect with Ali, and I'm going to be able to talk about something and show what I love. totally leads me closer. Brilliant, I will do it.
Mhm.
So you have a purpose, a passion, a reason for doing things.
So it's saying, so in a nutshell for you,
in a nutshell,
it's saying that even if you're getting no's, as long as the choices you are making that maybe lead you to those no's are in the end leading you to what you actually want, and again, it could be a day, it could be an hour, it could be life, then you're making the right decision.
Exactly. And you won't feel like you're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just feel like you're pushing forward. Yes?
Exactly.
I love you, ladies. Thank you so
We love
much. Thank you so much for this conversation, for sharing your light, your love, your energy, and just for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you so much.
Mwah. Whoa.
Love you.